Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Latrell, and it's time, man. It's time I finally go ahead and drop my review on y'all of the Pixel Watch, Google's first smartwatch. 3 months later, I want to go and check this thing out finally. Except that I can't. You wanna know why I can't? It's because the battery's dead again. Shocker. All right. All right, so we're recording at the pool table behind the camera for the first time in a minute because I don't got my wireless mic with me right now, but we're not even going to beat around the bush. We're just going to go and get straight to the review, and we're not even going to talk about the specs. I don't really think anybody cares about the specs on a smartwatch versus a smartphone, so check all that in the description. So honestly, we just got to go and talk about the elephant in the room, right? The battery. Oh, the battery on the Pixel Watch has been controversial since before the watch even came out. If you watch the first reviews on the Pixel Watch, you will see that literally everybody complained about the battery life on here, but we was hoping that it would get better over time. Not really, no. It just got the same. If I start off my day in the morning like most Americans do and get heavy notifications and things like that, like all my other watches, this thing will last me the whole day if I'm lucky. Most of the time, this ain't even going to last throughout the whole day, and that's kind of scary seeing that my phone's battery life is better than my watch. That makes no sense to me. I mean, look at this. You will get better battery life at something like a Galaxy Watch or a Galaxy Watch 4 or even a Gear S3 or hell, even the Gear S2 Classic. Even with how much I complain about this thing, and it's the LTE version, it still got better battery life than my Pixel Watch. That don't make no sense. I thought this is the worst battery life that I've ever seen in a watch. Nah, Samsung. Google took that crown for that. That's crazy. You wanna know what the most wild thing is? When I first heard these reviews, I was like, okay, it has to be like the LTE is probably on like all times or something like that. Nah, not really. Again, it's just, that's just how it is. Now, when the reviews first came out when I got my Pixel Watch early, which I should have said this in the beginning, but Google did send it to me for free, so shout out to Google for that. But when I saw the reviews, I was like, maybe it's just that the LTE is on all the time. No, as far as I can tell, that's not even the issue. Now, it does seem like there's another issue though, that this heart rate monitor is on all the time, and it seems like you can't control that at all in the software. Like you can't just do it periodically or something like that. It's just always on. I remember my Galaxy Watch was doing this where it had the heart rate monitor on all the time, and it made the battery life like way worse, and I didn't even know about it. I thought the battery life was just like, all right, it just wasn't as good as everybody was making it out to be. But then I changed the heart rate settings to every 10 minutes and it got way better battery life. And honestly, like even with it on all the time, it still got way better battery life than the Pixel Watch. So yeah, I can't get with the battery life on here. Some people saying it's good now, but for me, it's still as bad as when I first got it. Next up, I want to shy away from this a little bit and show you the actual app on here. And look at this. You see that, right? It's still on. It's not even on my wrist, so why is it on? But let's go over here to the watch app on my Pixel 7 Pro over here. Let's go ahead and click on that. And oh, wait, what happened? All right, there we go. So as you can see here, this is what the app is going to look like. We got some notifications here at the top we can go and click on. It's basically telling us everything that we don't really need to know. We got the watch itself. It's connected, as you can see here. And we got the battery life. We got the notifications. And you can see the last time it synced with Fitbit. But if we go and click on watch faces, you can see here that we got all of our watch faces here. And if I go and click on this pencil here, we have a list. So those are all the defaults. And I can also go and click on edit, and I can go ahead and customize my watch face however I want to as soon as this loads. And as you can see there, we can change the color, the bold, and all that. And then we can go to add new here, and we have even more watch faces. So again, these are going to be like the stock watch faces that come with the watch. So you can still go to the Play Store and download some more. So if you want to download a new watch face, go to the Play Store, go over here at the top and scroll all the way to the side to categories. Go and click on that. And then you have watch faces right there. So you can go and scroll through all that. Or you could just search on the Play Store too. So yeah, we got all those watch faces right there. And we also got tiles. So those are basically widgets for a watch. So that's how Wear West calls it. It's just widgets. And we got a few of these here. So we got the hand watch timer, which is default. It comes on there. Obviously, I'm not going to use that. I know how to wash my hands. All right, thanks. But then if we're going back out of here real quick, you can see here that we basically just got some settings here like notifications, Google, Fitbit, Play Store. We got watch preferences. We got all that on here. Next up is the design and the build quality. So the design's gonna be subjective, but for me, I ain't go front, man. It's looking a little shiesty. It's looking a little Bobby Schmurdy-ish, like I said when I first got this watch, and it still ain't changed yet. I know about my sexuality. I'm a straight dude, but when I see this on my wrist, I don't know if I can get with that, all right? With that being said, though, I will give it some credit, all right? It looks pretty clean and minimalistic, and it looks like a pebble, basically, on your wrist. So I kind of like it from that aspect. That's cool. I do like how smooth the corners is and how the glass here matches in with the metal and how it just like meshes all together. Like, that's cool. That's dope. dope. I appreciate that. As for the build quality, honestly, this is probably like the best build quality watch I've ever seen, even over the Apple Watch and the Galaxy Watch and everything else. Like, it just feels like basically if you got a Louis watch and if they designed it like this, like that's what it feels like. There is nothing at all that feels cheap about this watch, like at all. Like everything is glass and metal. I really feel like that's dope. Even if I go over here to the Galaxy Watch, I know this is an older Galaxy Watch, but I think it's the same thing on the 4. But if you look here on the back, you can see that's plastic here and everything, so it gives it a little bit of a cheaper feeling. But when I pick this up, oh yeah, I feel like I know I'm straight. The only thing I'm really worried about is scratching on here, so I ain't really clean this in a minute, but I know if I go and clean this, I'm sure there's gonna be some micro scratches. Because honestly, like, how are you gonna protect that, man? It's just all exposed right there. I'm also worried about it shattering, because I think I've seen some folks on Twitter saying they shattered theirs, so I don't know. Next up is the screen. So first off, I want to go on and talk about those bezels, all right? Again, we gotta get the elephant out the room. So Google's trying their hardest to make sure that you don't see these bezels, but if I go and turn on this flashlight right there, that's basically how big the bezels is. Like, just take a look at that. When you got that flashlight on, you could easily see those bezels there. Those things is huge. But if I go ahead and close this out real quick, basically when you're using the watch, I need to stop saying basically so much, but when you're using a watch, you don't really notice it at all. Like, Google did a really good job of just like blending in the bezels with the screen. And as for the screen itself, it do look pretty clean. It feels smooth and everything. I got no issues with it. I love the screen on my Pixel watch. So yeah, this AMOLED screen don't really bother me with the bezels right here because Google did a really dope job with the software and blending it all in. Next up, we're gonna go and talk about the fitness aspect of this watch. And oh god, this is the part where I'm gonna start a ride, all right? So first off, I want to say real quick, even though this thing's always on and it drains my battery, the heart rate monitor is pretty accurate. So I ain't got no issues with that. That's cool. What I do got a problem with though is I am active in the gym, right? I'm real active in the gym, and the only problem I really got with this is that, well, the only problem that it shouldn't have. This thing is not good for going to the gym for me, because when I go over here to a Fitbit, and we'll talk about that in a second, all right? I already got my own issues with that. But let's go over here to Fitbit, right? I'm gonna go to Fitbit exercise, and let's go and start a workout, all right? So I'm gonna go over here to all exercises, and let me go and scroll through here real quick. Ah, yes, cross-country skiing, exactly what I was looking for. No! Nobody asked for that. I don't know too many people that's picking up a Pixel watch and going like, oh yeah, can't wait to start my CrossFit exercise. They basically put all these irrelevant exercises in here and took out all the relevant exercises like arm curls and all that stuff that I would do in the gym. Where's all that at? Oh, I'll tell you exactly where that's at. Let me scroll down here real quick and look for the one that's generalized called workout. Yes, exactly what I'm not looking for. Like, let me pick up my Galaxy Watch and let me show you how it's supposed to be done, all right? So let's go over here to Samsung Health. We're gonna go over here to exercise, which by the way, I work out with this at the gym all the time, but let's go to choose workout. Now, these are some actual exercises that make sense. So other workout, that's basically Samsung's generalization of the workout option right here. But we got arm curls, that makes sense. Lat pull downs, I do that. Arm extensions, all that on here. Pull-ups, none of that's really on here. That's why I feel like with watches these days, you can't just be a watch and give me my time. You have to be a good exercise watch too, and that fails exactly at that, which makes no sense because Fitbit is, from what I hear, a pretty good company when it comes to doing workouts, but I see all this on here and I'm like, nah. So yeah, that's what I gotta say for the fitness aspect of this, but I do gotta say it's comfortable on my arm. Next up is the software on here. So we got Wear OS, obviously, and it's both good and bad. So the good part of this is, like I told y'all before, this blends in pretty good with the actual bezels on the watch. I ain't really noticed them that much. And also the crown on here works good with the software. Like, I ain't really got that much of an issue with the software. Like, also we have pretty good app support, so that's cool. I can't say the same for Tizen, which is why Samsung ditched it on their newer watches, which I think is stupid, but that's a different story for a different video. Even with all that, I think the fact that we got pretty good app support on here is pretty cool. Like, we got the Google Home app and everything like that. A good downside of the software is that it's pretty much exactly the opposite of Android and what it stands for, which is customizability. You can customize your watch face, but that's pretty much it. Like, you can't change the notification sounds, you can't change the ringtone, you can't change the background color, you can't change nothing like that, which really makes no sense to me. Like, let me go over here to my sound options here, and as you can see here, we can just control the volume, but that's about it. If I go over here to gestures, display, and all that, there's no background options except for like watch face. That's pretty much it. Things like that don't make sense to me when I can go over to my Galaxy Watch with Tizen, or even my Galaxy Watch 4 that got Wear OS, and I could change the notification sounds and the background color and all that. And at least for this, I'm not sure about my Galaxy Watch 4, but at least for this, I could just change the whole background if I want to. Like, let me go over here and see if I could find it, because I definitely lost it. All right, wait, there we go. Background style. As you can see there, it's been the same for a minute now, but you can't choose different backgrounds, which is cool. So yeah, you better get used to just changing your watch face on here, because the fact that you can't change nothing else is pretty whack. Next up is a third-party support that you will find for watch bands at like Best Buy and Amazon and all this. So let's talk about that, all right? it's pretty lacking. I know it's Google's first smartwatch, but at the same time, you can't really find that much of an option out here like you can with the Apple Watch or a Galaxy Watch. I think it will build over time when Google keep making watches. Well, I hope that they will keep making watches anyway, because we know how Google is and discontinuing stuff. But I don't want to just talk about it. Let's go to Amazon real quick and let me show you what I'm talking about. So we got this Tunk Armor. I think that's how you say it. All right. Okay, cool. Never seen that before. We got some options out here, and then we got some name brands. Like we got Soupcase. I think that's how you say it, and Caseology. But besides that, there's really not that good of a market, and just forget about going to store. Like, you're not gonna find it in store anywhere. Even though the Apple Watch got a proprietary watch band, it do got a pretty good market because, well, it's the Apple Watch, and the Galaxy Watch got a good market because not only is it the Galaxy Watch, but it's a universal watch band. I feel like Google should have did that, and on top of that, the watch band just don't lay flat, so I'm not appreciating that either. The default watch band itself, I will say though, is pretty good. I love this watch band and why I haven't switched it out yet, and also because there ain't really no good options out there. But I will say, I ain't really feeling the options on here. It's just too limited for me. And let's go and talk about the phone calls. I'm gonna go and do a call test for y'all real quick and we can see how it sounds.
Alright, so this is gonna be the sound quality coming from the Pixel Watch itself, as you can probably see on the Pixel 7 Pro over there. I don't got my lapel mic, so you can't see it on camera, but it's sitting on top of the mic right now. But let me know how that quality is. So basically, I'm speaking from my landline right now directly to my Pixel Watch on max volume.
And now we're gonna go and start off with the likes and dislikes I got about the Pixel Watch, and man, it's gonna be wild. But we're gonna go and start off with the dislikes I got about it. And first up, let's go and talk about that watch band I literally just talked about. I don't like that this is proprietary, and I wish it was universal like Samsung did it with their Galaxy watches. So I don't really appreciate this, but I mean, maybe we'll see it change in the future. The next thing I don't like is that we can't change the notification sounds of the ringtones on here. So now if your watch rings, it's gonna be like the Apple Watch dilemma, where if somebody else is ringing around you, then it's gonna sound like yours, and you might think it's your watch, and you know how it goes. That's why if I had the option, I would change the ringtone and the notification sounds out here, because I would think that if somebody else's are going off, then it would be mine. The next thing I don't like is that we don't have as many third-party watch faces as we do on WatchOS, you know, Apple or Tizen. That's why if I go over here to the Galaxy store on Tizen at least, which again, I don't know why Samsung switched to the Wear OS, it don't make no sense to me. But if I go over here, we have endless, actual pretty good watch faces on here. But if I go over here to the Play Store, we don't have as many like that. And that's not specifically a Pixel Watch issue either, obviously. But at the same time, I still don't like that. The next thing I don't like is that this thing is just real Apple Watch-esque with the design and the proprietary watch band. So if they made the Apple Watch circular, then this is what it would look like, I feel like. I feel like Google didn't really bring any of their own inspiration here with their first watch besides just slapping the Google logo on the back. The next thing I don't like on here is, to some extent, Wear OS. So I feel like one big reason for the battery life issues, well, I mean, it's not completely on Wear OS, but I feel like a reason the battery life is so bad is because of Wear OS, because Tizen is like really efficient on battery life, but then when I go to here, and even on the Galaxy Watch 4, it's not as good as the original Galaxy Watch. And even the Galaxy Watch 3, I would imagine, it's just not as good, and I'm pretty sure it's because of Wear OS. And like I said, you got the whole heart rate monitor thing that you can't really change, so I'm pretty sure that's got to do with it too. And like I said, no real customization or anything on here, so again, I'm not really feeling that. The next thing I don't like is one of their main driving points for their marketing, the stupid Google and Fitbit thing. They didn't even really do anything with Fitbit on here. They just slapped it on there and said, good luck. If they didn't just slap Fitbit on here, why is it called Fitbit ECG, Fitbit exercise, and Fitbit today? Why isn't it just called ECG exercise and today? That's what I'm talking about. And also, when I first got this watch, I had to make an entirely new account on Fitbit, which again, I didn't like. Why couldn't it just be integrated into my Google account just to get some mid options on here? The whole thing just feels forced, and let's not even talk about Google Fit, all right? I don't know what's up with that anymore. The next thing I don't like is this. Not really the charger per se, but this is the only way that you could charge this watch. This is whack. I don't like that this is the only option that we can use to charge our watch, because this just doesn't go well with my whole setup, and it just makes me not want to use the Pixel Watch. And also, I feel like they had a whole missed opportunity here where you can make it charge on the back of your Pixel 7 Pro. I don't know why they didn't do that for their ecosystem. We got battery share on here, which is a very useful feature, but if I go and put my watch on here in the back, first off, it's not going to lay flat because of the watch band, but also, it's going to do that, but it's not actually gonna charge. It's telling you that it's charging, but it's not actually charging. Like, trust me, just watch the other YouTubers and they'll tell you the same. The next thing I don't like about this comes back to the charger and how slow it actually charges. So I don't really like that, because it charges maybe in about an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half. Nowadays, watches will charge in an hour or less, so this ain't really cool for me. Next thing I don't like kind of goes with the whole watch band thing too, is that there's really no good screen protectors for this. Now, we do got this TPU one, but I'm not really a fan of TPU screen protectors, and I would rather have glass. Like, I feel like we could find a screen protector that will fit on on here, like White Stone Dome for example, but they don't make one. So yeah, all this exposed screen on here and no screen protector that I can really put on it besides this, that's not really cool. And the last thing I don't really like is that there's just so many missed opportunities with this watch overall. Like I already told you about the fact that it don't charge on the back of your Pixel 7 Pro, which don't make sense to me. And there's just a lot of things about this watch that just don't make sense to me and I don't really vibe with, that I hope that Google changes next year. Or I guess at this point it'll be later this year, but still. Now let's go and talk about the things I like about this watch, because at this point y'all probably don't even think I like anything about it, but I do got some things I like about it. Now the first thing I like about this is the design. So I know I just said that this thing looked kind of shicey on me and I ain't really feeling this, but at the same time I do like how clean and minimalistic it looks. Like I feel like when you just pick this thing up, it looks like a marble and it just look beautiful in my opinion. A little too beautiful for me, but at the same time it do look beautiful, so that's cool. The next thing I like about this is how the vibration motor on here works with the software. So it kind of has vibration animations, I guess if you want to say, where if I go ahead and connect the charger here, it's gonna vibrate, and if I go ahead and scroll through my apps here, it's gonna give me a subtle vibration for every single app that goes through here. Just things like that really add to the user experience, so good looking out Google for that. That's cool. The next thing I like is, like I said before, just how expensive it feels. So if I go and click the button, it has a really good feeling click to it with the crown right here, and just looking around it, you can't say that this thing looks cheap. I know it's gonna be some people in the comments saying it looks like an AliExpress watch, but to me it looks pretty good and it feels pretty good too. All the buttons on here just feel real good, and just Google didn't really skimp out on the build quality on here, so I appreciate that. Next up is the app support. It's just so many apps to choose from. Like you got Google Assistant on here now. We have the camera, which I mean that's pretty much on every watch, but we got Google Home, we got Hue Essentials, Keep Notes, Google Maps, we got media controls, which again that's just normal. Spotify, which I got on my Galaxy Watch, YouTube Music. Like it's just a lot of apps on here that's just real useful on here. Again, I don't really use apps on my watch like that, but that's still cool to have. Next thing I like about this is the ecosystem. So let me go and show you something real quick I thought was cool on Spotify. So we're gonna go and play a song real quick, and we're gonna go over here to like songs. Let's go and choose on Jimmy Cooks by Drake. Let's go and click on this watch, and look at this. We got the Bluetooth settings here, right? Look how all of my devices automatically populating. Oh wait, hold on. Just look at how all of my Bluetooth devices here just automatically populate. Like we got my Pixel Buds, we got my Sony earbuds, we got all of these that popped up here by Easy Connect or whatever Google calls it. And again, I thought that was just cool. Like those are all linked to my Pixel 7 Pro, and it wasn't even just my Pixel 7 Pro, it's on all my Pixel devices. So the fact that everything just pop up on here without me having to pair it, I thought that was really dope. And the last thing I like about this is the crown itself. So it's no rotating bezel or anything, but at the same time, this crown is pretty useful. And at the same time, again, it is pretty much stolen from the Apple Watch, but I do like it on here. It's just pretty useful to work with the software. So overall, you heard my dislikes and you heard my likes. The dislikes actually outweigh the likes, which is crazy. This is the first time that ever happened in a video, I'm pretty sure. Can I recommend the Pixel Watch for the price it's at, and can it get the Jennings stamp of approval? So it's not $350 like these YouTubers are saying. They got the LT one and that's $400. If you get the Bluetooth one, then yeah, it is $350, but this thing is $400. And I would say, hell no. Ain't no way that this thing is recommended for $350 or $400. There is no way, I'm sorry, but there is no way I could recommend this for this price tag. It's just way too expensive for what you get. Google got a lot to work on with their first smartwatch here, and it shows a lot. You saw my other reviews. I could recommend things like the Pixel 7 Pro and but I just can't recommend this. It's just too bad. Even with the software updates it got, it still didn't even get better, which I don't get. What are you fixing then? I can't be too hard on Google because it's their first shot and it can't be a Hail Mary, but at the same time, we work hard for our money, so I don't really think you should put your money towards this. Put your money towards something like a Galaxy Watch 5 or a Fossil Watch or something like that, just not the Pixel Watch. I can't do that. If the price dropped down, and I mean dramatically dropped down, then I would think that was recommended, but not right now. We'll see what Google does with their Pixel Watch 2. Hopefully they make one, but I want to see what's up with that. I'm not giving up on Google, but I can't do this. I'm sorry. Anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Let me go and get up out of here. This is going to be the Pixel Watch review, or the consumer review anyway. Let me know what y'all think about the Pixel Watch. And honestly, yes, I know I'm talking behind the camera again, but it just feels more natural than talking in front of the camera to me, to be honest with y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but it feels more natural to me. I feel like I could get my frustration out more and my energetic side of me and all that out behind the camera, so I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this, man. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, go and give this video a like. And if you really liked it, go and subscribe. But go and follow me on my social media at EcentTech on Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter is the most active. And stay tuned for more videos, man, because I am working on some more videos like my HomePod in 2023, so stay tuned for that, the OG HomePod anyway. And I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, and I'm going there by myself for the first time ever to Vegas, so maybe I'll vlog that on my other channel, Latrell, Jennings, etc. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go and get up out of here. I'm about to throw me some pizza rolls in the air fryer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.